And then the Steelers scored 17 in the fourth quarter to secure a 23-16 win. And afterward, Roethlisberger said, quote, "I'm proud of the guys because they didn't blink. They stood up in the face of not playing well early." And Skip, you know, you've been big on Pittsburgh as a playoff team all offseason. So, Shannon, are you ready to buy into the Steelers as a playoff team after that?
Big N. Long O. No.
No.
The Buffalo gagged this one off. Yeah, they did. And that's a tough place to play. Mind you, now Buffalo has something to play for. They've gotten better over the last couple of years. That place started to rocking. But Skip, look. You can't. The Bills outgained about 119 yards, ran 24 more plays, had 5 more minutes time of possession. Why in the hell would you let Josh Allen throw the ball 51 times? When you're running, you're getting 6.5 yards a clip, and you ask him to drop back and throw it 51 times against that. The one thing the Steelers pride themselves on in doing is being able to get after your quarterback. Did they not see T.J. Watt? He was there. I know maybe they didn't get the memo. Maybe they got snail mail, and they missed the part that he signed a contract extension, and he's going to be there because it's like, oh, we just going to drop back and throw it to pass. And I'm like, and I could tell because the opening kickoff, they run it back to the 25-yard line, Skip, and they go throw. I'm like, what the hell? You ain't going to try to throw, like, you ain't going to try to run one pass? It seems to me, Skip, Josh Allen is the MVP favorite. Well, we're going to let him get 400 on opening day, and the thing going to look really good. Josh Allen throws a front NFL MVP front runner. Josh Allen throws for 400 on opening day. Steelers say, no, you're not. Skip, I'm going to give the Steelers credit. They hung around. They went 5 straight punts to start the game. When you could have, like, put the game out of reach by running the football, you let them hang around because you throw, and you going up out of the game, and then you let T.J. Watt take the game over by taking the ball away. This was a lot more about what Buffalo didn't do, as opposed to what the Steelers did do. Give them credit. They hung around, and Ben talked about this. We didn't blink. The crowd was in the game, Skip. They got out, 10-0, and they said, you know what? We're still here. It should be 17-0. Maybe it should be 20-0. But we're still in this ball game. So, hey, let's stay. And the next thing you know, you look up. Now you're like, well, what happened? Well, you let Josh Allen throw the ball 51 times against that defense. He turned it over. You gave up a punt block. And I'm like, how you give up a punt block in that situation, guys? And everybody I'm looking at Skip, everybody looking back like, oh, damn, I hope that ain't my man. Bro, block. Buy a ticket if you want to watch the punter. Buy a ticket if you want to watch somebody block. Block.
I tried to warn you.
You ain't warned me nothing.
I tried to tell you. You wouldn't listen. You wouldn't listen. I love Pittsburgh's head coach. I've told you 100 times on the show, if I could play pro football, I'd want to play for that man. You want to talk about a pregame speech motivator? And I still love Big Ben Roethlisberger. His arm is getting stronger and stronger after that elbow reconstruction that plagued him all of last year. But I will remind you, as you well remember, they did win their first 11 last year. And it's hard in this league to win 11 straight games. And then the wheels came off because they finished dead last in rushing. So they went out later in the first round and they drafted what they thought was the best rusher on the market. Najee Harris from Alabama. Crimson Tide, Roll Tide, and he didn't really roll yesterday because he only averaged 2.8 yards per carry. 16 times he rushed for 45 yards. So he wasn't the difference. But Ben, even though he had a very low QBR, was Brady-esque. He made the plays that had to get made because they're down 10-0 at halftime, and they scored on their first 4 possessions of the second half. Really? First 4 possessions. You realize the Steelers at Buffalo in front of that crazed crowd, they won the second half 23-6. That's all you need to know, 23-6. And Ben made every big little play that he needed to make. And he got a big pass interference on it. He threw one up to Claypool, who got a pass interference, and then he threw one to Deontay Johnson in the corner of the end zone, if we could see this. And so the DB, because this is well covered, and he made a heck of a play. And that's the kind of play.
The road.
Division.
Yep.
Yeah, if you're going to win, if you're going to upset Buffalo at Buffalo, you're going to have to make at least one of these kinds of plays.
Yep.
And every time I watch that kid play, I say, he's better than I thought. And then I say it again. He's better than I thought. He's better than I thought. Their defense is always better than I thought because they're well coached. They play hard.
Yep.
They're extremely physical. And you realize that Buffalo had the second highest scoring offense in the league last year to that one in Kansas City. And they were held yesterday by the Pittsburgh Steelers at home in the opener to 1 touchdown. Mm-hmm. He threw it, to your point, 50 times, but he only completed 31.
Yeah.
That's not high percentage.
No.
So he's bombs away, and he can't make anything happen.
Yeah, but you got Singletary getting 6.5 yards a clip. They're averaging 4.7 yards a carry on 25 carries.
I agree with you.
There's no need.
Let's showcase the potential MVP.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get him off to the races for the MVP. And you keep trying and trying and trying, and you get stifled and stymied and frustrated, and all of a sudden you look up and you've lost the second half 23-6, and you've lost the game 23-16.
Skip, the last thing you want to do, if you're facing a team that has a premier pass rusher, is to give him opportunity after opportunity to get to your quarterback. The more you drop back, he's going to get closer and closer. We're going to talk about this later. Aaron Donald, Chicago just kept throwing it. He kept getting close, Skip, and they weren't satisfied until what? He ended the game with a sack. T.J. Watt is as good as we have in the league on the edge rusher, and you gonna give him 51 opportunities. How many sacks do you think that guy would have if he went into a ball game and for 17 games they gave him 51 opportunities to put their quarterback on the ground?
Okay. T.J. Watt is a bad boy.
Yes.
And to me, right now at his peak, in his prime, he is more impactful than his older brother ever was.
No,
That's just me. Yes. No, because he's an edge rusher as opposed to his big brother would move around. Sometimes he'd come off the edge, but mostly he was a tackle.
He's 3-4.
He's more in the Aaron Donald mold, right? This guy comes off the edge like a terror. He is a little bigger than Von Miller.
Yeah.
And he is just flat out nasty coming off the edge, and he is a game disruptor where it's hard to keep him blocked.
Right.
He's going to get a hand on your quarterback.
He's more speed than Khalil Mack. But Von has looked like Von yesterday. He looked like Von yesterday.
And they were right to pay him and bring him back.
Yeah,
I got
Skip, you can't, if you're Buffalo and you're running the ball as well as they're running it, you can't ask the line. It's not like they make it seem like they got one of the top 5 offensive lines in football as far as pass protecting. They don't.
Yep, I got it. So what did Mike Tomlin say after the game? He said, this was not about style points. I don't care about style points.
Exactly.
It was not pretty. He said, we were up against a really good football team whose schematics haven't changed. They're a team that everything is in place, where they just keep doing the same things they've been doing for 3 years, and they get better and better as the players get older and wiser, right?
Right.
So he's saying, this is tough, man. I can tell you he was highly satisfied because that was, you can call it an ugly win if you want to call it, but it was a win on the road, and it's going to launch Pittsburgh. I think it's going to come down to Pittsburgh, Cleveland for that division.
Pretty soon, Lamar's going to have to play running back and quarterback.
I know. I don't love their chances now. I don't love their chances tonight against the Raiders at Raiders.
I'll agree.
Yep.
But that's with anything, Skip. The more Josh Allen, this is what, 4th year in this offense.